Yes, I. A special one. With the CEO stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, right in the South Bend. On the beat.
To get your information. So the food to be fashion. Smooth, smooth, smooth navigation. Smooth, smooth, smooth
I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you and know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you keep on congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? It's not your body. It's not your body. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you and know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you keep on congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, yeah, to just spoon.
You want to get a news update? Turn to spoon.
Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, but you back to yes, but you back to
Okay, folks, I'd like to welcome you. Thanks for joining us
I'll
tonight.
tell you what is happening.
Another edition of the program, the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon.
Happening in
I
Monrovia.
want to welcome all of you across the world,
Tell you what is happening.
across Liberia,
Africa.
joining us tonight on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1,
The gentrifying
and all of the other frequencies across the country. Always relaying the program.
update, my brother, to speak.
Yes, of course. I want to welcome you.
Know what is happening.
This is the Late Night Show.
To speak.
This is where we talk Liberia.
Politics.
This is where we discuss the issues. We bring you the updates, we provide you the analysis,
Want to know what happened?
afford you the opportunity to have a say in critical national issues.
Yeah,
So my name is Nelson Colette. It's going to be a spirited conversation tonight.
yeah.
I want to welcome all of you. Thanks for joining in. Let me go to the comment section and just recognize a few of you joining us tonight. I see Eric McGill. Eric, thanks for joining us tonight. You say you're joining us live tonight from Atlanta, Georgia.
You got a small TV. You got a small radio. To speak.
Thank you for joining us. I see Annie Flomo.
Yeah.
Annie Flomo is joining us tonight as well.
News update. Turn to spoon.
I see Adolfo.
Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba.
Is joining in as well. Let me see. Comfort Yiban is in joining us tonight. He says he's watching from RL, Republic of Liberia. I guess. Thanks for joining us. And to all of you joining in tonight, we want to appreciate you in a very special way for coming on. Kindly share the program as you join us tonight. Let me make this quick adjustment. Yes. So kindly share the show as you join us tonight. Stephen Diggs is here as well. My dear brother Stephen Diggs, thanks for joining us tonight. And thanks to everyone. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight, as always. Discussing the issues, bringing you the updates, and making sure that we can have the conversation going on. And I want to welcome every single person joining in tonight. Well, there's a lot happening across the country. Just to bring you some quick updates here on some of the trending national issues. To the trending national issues. So I want to welcome all of you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's move to the updates. What are some of the happenings across the country? What are some of the issues to talk about tonight? But first thing, I want you to kindly share the show as you join us tonight. Just keep sharing the program on your different social media handles. So let's hope we can have a great conversation here tonight. And just yeah, so let's keep sharing the program as we move on with the conversation tonight. I want to get this coming up ASAP, and then we can get going tonight on the program. So again, thank you for joining us. There's a whole lot to talk about tonight, and it's just very important to bring you those different updates here tonight. So what are the issues? We're going to bring the team on, but again, I want to welcome everyone. Moore, thank you for joining us. Sally Advancing, it's been a minute. We appreciate you for coming on. I see Alex Joel, thank you as well. Abraham Amara Dunor, thank you for coming on. I see Dube Robert, thank you for joining us tonight. Helena Tro, it should be Tro, but I see Tro. Yeah, I hope I got that name right. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate you tonight. Thanks to all of you for coming on. We're gonna bring the updates. Let me bring the team on. I see George Widow, Mr. Widow, CDC Australia president. He's been president of the CDC Australia chapter for over 3 decades now, managing a very fat budget in that office. Mr. George Widow, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
I'll say, look, it's great to be with you, man. There's no fat budget yet, though, and there's no.
All the things I said, that's the only clarity you want to make. But
yeah, definitely.
The truth is, you were, the chapter head there in Australia under the ruling establishment. Imagine being the, party's head, in that part of the world, when the party is a ruling party. I understand you had a very fat budget you were managing, George. And you see Sandy Kumi is here. You should understand that. Indeed, George had a very fat budget he was managing. And Sandy can afford to bring that on the show. So he's combing everything out tonight. But
combing everything, yeah.
Welcome to the show, George. It's good to have you on.
Nelson, thank you. It's great to be here, Nelson. This is a national duty the way we see it, and we have to be here to sharpen the contradiction, and
Did you ever imagine
certain things should be to stay in the back?
Yeah. You comb your hair. You don't want to
you're trying to comb this thing up, but it's difficult to comb it up. Can you imagine George managing a very fat budget under the CDC administration, and then as president of the see the name here? I mean, I'm not saying it as you see here, George Widow, CDC Australia. That's the man, Terry right there. George printed the Australia for We Are T-shirt for former President George Weah, to tell you how serious the brother was, and how fat the budget was at the time, managing all of those things.
And nobody came from Australia to go vote for Weah.
but no, I did, my man. I was there, and people follow anyway. But look,
right.
it was a covert operation. We needed to be in the country without being noticed. But I was on ERBC on the I think two nights before the elections. I was on ERBC. The records are there. We spoke to the Liberian people.
The records are there. Now you guys didn't have a war room, but you told former President George Weah you had a war room. The records are there. When there was no number coming out, but you are manufacturing your own numbers and say, "Oh, we are."
Man, I'll not find no war room. I'll not find no war room. I'll part of intellectual, group. But there was no war room.
At the minute, Joey, I depending on the win election. The in war room, sending
Luca.
is
Look
a
at
great.
Mulva.
We want to appreciate him. And welcome,
Mm.
Mulva. Welcome, Cindy. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Usually the weekend starts on Friday, so it's that way. But there's a lot been going on. Liberia just celebrated National Unification Day. And there are lots of conversation around the unity of the country as to whether the country is united, whether the true essence of Unification Day is being met, whether unification is even a reality, as to whether
Mm.
reconciliation is a thing of now or is a thing of the past, or whether it's a thing of the future. I mean, and there's still a lot being said with respect to that. Most of you follow the write-up from former President George Weah with respect to the reconciliation thing. We should have discussed that last evening, but we didn't have the time to do that. Former President George Weah said the president of the Republic of Liberia called him on National Unification Day, called him on a strange number. No name, no number appearing. That kind of call where when you call, you will see private, private, private. No name, no number, nothing. Also, now you see unknown caller. So, former president, according to him, President Baka called him on private, and so he didn't answer the call. And then the president sent him a text to say Happy Unification Day to him, and he did a write-up to say unification is not an event; it's a process. To unify the country is not something you can do in just a single day. It's something that's going to happen over time. And he thinks that the fact that, according to him, he has not spoken with the president since after the inauguration, that's not unity all by itself. We're going to go through the write-up. We're going to go through what the former president is saying, and we'll make some analysis around that. But the thing about unity is very key to our country, because at the end of the day, there will be the politics. The other person speak to their political side. The other person speak to their political side, and all of that. But what gets the country making progress, what gets the country moving forward, is when we're reconciled, even after the heated political period, and we put aside our political differences and move our country forward. Now, I remember that in the heat of the politics we had in 2023, Councillor Tiawan Gonglo did something very remarkable. Yeah, I don't know how many of you remember that incident when Councillor Gonglo marched at the headquarters of the CDC to preach unity. He said, though I'm a political leader of another party, but I've come here today to let you guys know that we are all Liberians. And when the guy said Muya, he said Muya, Muya, CDC, Muya, and everybody said Muya. And people laughed about it. But that was deep. It was beyond just another political leader going to another party headquarters. But did we make any progress from there? And so the conversation about national unity is still ongoing. Now, Senator Edwin Melvin Snow of Bowman County was on record for saying that he wants this government to fail because it's going to put him in a better position for an election come 2029. He said he doesn't want the country to suffer, but he wants the government to fail. He wished that the government would make progress. But on the other end, he wants the government to have some lapses so that he can have a smooth sail in 2029. While we're talking about National Unification Day, he met with the president of the Republic of Liberia. Is this unification that we're talking about here? And there's a whole write-up to this. We'll dive into that conversation as well. We're going to tie it to the other conversations around the Unification Day and just move on with that. But Senator Edwin Melvin Snow, of all persons, met with the president today. And the conversation again is about national unity. But let's do our opening and then we'll get into the rest of the show tonight. I want to welcome everyone. Cindy, welcome. Josh, welcome to the show. And Mobile, thanks for joining in. Josh, you want to do your opening? And then Mobile will be next, and then Cindy.
No, you can make me
Thank,
laugh.
thank,
You can make me laugh.
thank you, Nelson. Thank you,
Okay.
Nelson. Look, I just want to give this one out to my colleague, one of the biggest musicians here in Australia. He's supposed to CDC as well. His name is Obadiah Toba. Obadiah Toba, hats off to you, man. Thank you for coming to watch the show. And I know you would tell how they call it, Nelson, that I did not have any fat budget, and I did, we did our best to make sure that President Weah won, but he did not, and that's the issue. But Nelson, back to the issue. There is something in our political sphere, right, that is distrust. And when people distrust each other, there's no unity. You might be superficial about it. You might just say, oh, yeah, they can shake hands. They'll even go and shake hands on top of the Statue of Liberty. But Nelson, there will be no true reconciliation. Because here's the first thing. If you want to reconcile with somebody, why should you call them on an unknown number, Nelson? Why should you call somebody on an unknown number when you're trying to? And guess what? And there's a difference. I see Lane Lacroix trying to justify on private with different with unknown. Nelson, if President Weah had President Boakai's number, it won't be private, or it won't be or the number that President Weah had. If that's the one Boakai had used to President Boakai had used to call him, you're going to see the number and you're going to pick up. But we know that even from the late PYJ, that President Boakai changed his number before, because PYJ were trying to call him. But this man changed his number. So nobody had known his number now. And when he changed that number, apparently he did not send it to President Weah, because you heard it, President Weah said he has not spoken to him since January of this year. Last year. So Nelson, the thing is clear. President Boakai is not ready to be reconciled with President Weah. He's very bitter. He's very vindictive. And here's the thing, Nelson. And I know you guys know the story, but you want people to say it. When President Boakai called when President Weah called President Boakai to congratulate him to concede, Nelson, that is a national treasure. That thing should be, something that should be very private and should be held in high esteem. They recorded this man, and little boys are playing it around, Nelson. That thing that should be, like you say, held in high esteem. But the childishness of this government led these people to record another president and play on radio stations, which of course it was an honorable thing that President Weah did to congratulate his successor, But Nelson, that's the issue. And then people want to be hypocritical about it because they support Boakai. So they say, oh, President Weah should go there because President Boakai is the president. No, it will not happen. We will not pet you. But anyway, I will not go there. I will not go to the LU campus. So the thing is that we will not allow somebody presidency to demean us, to degrade us, and then we crawl to them. President Boakai does not have anything that President Weah wants, and President Weah will be in his place and will wait for the rightful time to interact with Liberian people. President Boakai has nothing to say about that. The thing is that people should not be hypocritical. Like our brothers here tonight, and especially Morba, I know he's going to speak, but I know they will all want to say, oh, President Weah is the one who have answered, who have called back, who have do that. No, if you want somebody to answer you, if you know that the person does not have your number, the first thing you text them is, so look, I'm going to call you. This is George Weeder. I'm going to call you. I know you don't have my number, but on this day, I want to call you. Let's discuss national issues. And then you follow that by a call. But you don't call the person unknown. The person didn't pick up, because I will not pick up any unknown call if I don't want to. And then you text the person back. If you text me, I text you, and that's it. And I think President Weah did the best he could do under that particular circumstances. And look, there's no true reconciliation. There's nothing that's going to happen because President Boakai is very, very, very vindictive. And that's why he's proving now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sandy, you want to do your opening?
Well, Nelson, my opening is an appeal to our leaders to unite in developing our country. Liberia deserves better. Liberians deserve better. So, as always, I will be on this show appealing to those in power, to Liberians across the world, that we must have the jealous spirit for national development. Jealous spirit, in a sense that we look around us and see what our neighbors or other countries around us are doing. We must copy that, the good, the development agenda, what they are doing to develop their nations. We must copy those ideas and we must build Liberia. Sierra Leone should not do better than us. Guinea should not be doing better than us. And certainly, Burkina Faso should not do better than us. I'm not saying they are doing better than us now, but it seems like they are on a path to develop their country. Liberia must be developed, but Liberia cannot be developed if we are not involved. All of us must be involved, but those who bear the greatest responsibility are those we have elected and some that were appointed to serve the country. We have the resources. We have what it takes to invite foreigners to invest, foreigners to enjoy the natural beauty of our nation. I'll end on this on my my opening, Nelson. I was having this conversation today with someone on this show. I won't call their name. And I was telling them, in my lifetime, the most expensive hotel I've ever seen. And I raised my hand. I didn't go there. I couldn't afford to stay there. But I've seen it. I drove by it. When you drive by it, you can barely see it's covered in forest. It's in a town called Musanze in Rwanda. Beautiful place. The hotel, from what I learned, when you go on the site to do a reservation, it costs about $3,500 a night. There's not joke. Do you know what's in that town? Why do people go for there? That town is a tourist place. They go there to see monkeys and baboons. Rwanda National Park of these things. Gorillas. Gorillas. That's what they go to see. $1,500, look it up, to go to the national park, the Gorilla National Park in Rwanda, if you are not a Rwandese. If you are a Rwandese citizen, I think it's about $50 or $50K, which is less than $50 US. But if you're a foreigner, you're paying over $1,500. Look, we have more baboons than Rwanda. We have more gorillas than Rwanda. We have a vast forest, national forest, like the Sapo National Forest, for instance. But do you know why the Sapo National Forest is not bringing a lot of money to us? The road there is to get there is terrible. Let our government re-strategize. Fix the roads in those key areas. Be urgent about it. Open those national parks. Start to reserve other parks, rainforests. Look for rainforests. If you're driving from Liberia to Sierra Leone, that corridor, Nelson, there's a lot to see there. If you're going from Morovia and they're going to Sap or Sino, Grand Gita area there, so much to see there. Lofa, so much to see there. We just need to take roads in those areas, design those areas, and invite people to the country to spend their money. So we got to be jealous. We have to have a jealous spirit for development. I'm tired of seeing countries that shouldn't be doing better than us, but doing better than us. I'm tired of seeing that. And that's why national unity is important. I don't care about political parties. I care about Liberia, and we must do it together. I look forward to a great show tonight, Nelson. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Josh, you want to come in? Not
Josh,
Josh,
don't.
Mova.
I say we'll get Josh another time. But yeah, guy, good evening to my colleagues wherever you're watching us from any platform or whatsoever. We say thank you for tuning in. Look, Nelson, what's on my mind is how bitter sedition are. And now I'm talking about the tiny seditions. I'm talking about the one that are the former officials of seditions. They are bitter to the extent anything they talk is hate. Anything comes from their mouth is hate. They never want to talk good things about their country. And that's where we are going now as a country. You see people who people look up to for ideas, but because of political differences, they say things does not even resemble the nations. Look, if I sit into my house, somebody call me on a private number. If I miss a call, if you text me, it's me. I will call you. I will call you back. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. But when we talk about people,
You missed my call the other day. You ain't coming back.
you see, don't mind me. That was for you. I don't mind. I'll talk. But we will get to that one. When I play, we're talking serious here. Please, I beg you. You definitely been too much. But I go, but let me go to the point, Nelson. Liberia for every Liberian. Tell us that you can hear you.
So I'm saying, so you lost concentration now. You lost balance.
No. I already on trial. She tells me, she said, the topic I take it from her muscle. She come to tell me, no matter. But again, Nelson,
no, I'm actually going to this conversation. This is just
okay. That part of the conversation will come to it. But let me do my opinion. We'll come to our conversation because I get a lot of things to say about that. I get a lot of things to say about that. But I will follow my brother Sandy, right? Look, Liberians, let us forget about it too much hate. Let's focus on developing our nations. Let's forget about it too much political talk, political, jargons. We just wake up. Everybody's a politicians. Sometimes when people doing their private thing, people that take camera and start recording. At the end of the day, you see on Facebook, attach it to politics. You think that's how your country will develop? It's not how your country will develop. We need to get a mindset of development. And when you get a mindset, you work towards it. But everybody everybody in the country, more especially the opposition, they are in, is for them to go and keep bringing lies and deception in the country. And it is wrong. And let me say this. Let me close on this. Mr. Kumi, don't let nobody use you as a tool. They will call you 1%. Now they're rapping you. Sedition now, you can't collaborate. Do not listen to them. They won't use you. They did the same will go a vice president. That's all they want to use you for. Because there's no way they see vice president where you are not wanted. Do not fall for it. Stay your ground. Do not let them fool you because that's why they come your way now. They pass all around looking for people to collaborate with, so that they can say, "Oh, let us do it one time and be president and stuff." But guess what? They will use you at the back. They will use you in the day. They pull you down. They will not use you for vice president. They will not use you for anything. But because there's no way George will be in our country, anybody be president on CDC ticket. So don't listen to them. Stay your ground because now they're looking for a lot of people to go together and start passing around, making trouble, making a lot of silly statements that's not even representing our country. But Mr. Kumi is too big for that. He's more educated than the entire CDC empire. Thank you, Nelson.
Well, thank you very much, Moba. Emmy, you want to do your opening just before we go?
Hey guys, welcome to the show. And nope, let's get in. Liberia on my mind. That's all. Let's get in the show.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. Let me put this up. This is this is former President George Weah. I will put the other one up. But talking about National Unification Day, he posted this. Today on May 14, I again wished all Liberians happy Unification Day and urge all citizens to always act in ultimate interest of the nation. In the interest of the nation. Earlier this morning, I received a missed call from an unknown number, which was followed by a text message from President Joseph Boakai wishing me happy Unification Day and urging national unity. I responded to said message in return by also wishing him National Unification Day. I have not spoken to the President Boakai since January 2024. I iterate that true unification is not based on superficial. Let me see. Let me bring this one closer. Okay, so national unification. Where are we? So I responded to said message in return by also wishing him a National Unification Day. I have not spoken to the president since January 2024. I iterate that true unification is not based on superficial political gimmicks, but on the rule of law and constitutional order. I again urge President Boakai to respect the rule of law, respect past and present political leaders, and uphold the sanctity of our hard-fought democratic institutions and processes in order to foster national unification. Now, this is deep. This right here is very, very deep. So, former President George Weah is not just talking about the unification aspect, but now he's urging the president to respect, number one, the rule of law. He thinks that the rule of law has not been respected in the country over the time. So there's a need for President Boakai to, number one, respect the rule of law. Number two, respect past and present political leaders. Respect me, President George Weah. Respect former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Respect the present and past political leaders of the country. And uphold the sanctity of our hard-fought democratic institutions and processes. Now, happy Unification Day, but the unification message is expanded, to other areas. And the former President George Weah is saying, in order for this unity to become a reality, there are other things we have to do. Does he have a point here? Is he making a good case for the country here? I mean, politics aside, let's see him as, a citizen of the country. Another Liberian talking about the interests of the country here. And I want us to start the conversation. Maybe we can start with you on this one, Sandy. Then we're going to go to Josh and just go in that order. Yeah.
Josh, please mute. I think we're having some background noise from you, brother. Thank you. Nelson, look, the issue of who called who on Unification Day, whether President Weah received a call. Once, Nelson, please pass me.
Okay.
My phone ringing.
I like that guy.
The man know when to come.
Josh, you want to go? You want to go ahead with this one?
The man protecting a pa, say pa coming to Atabata, so he gotta protect a pa. So
I'm
here's the
back.
thing.
Sorry, I'm
Okay,
back.
Remember,
Let me talk my
Joy
Tabata.
too force it. No one recruitment. You force it.
Let me talk my Tabata in peace. For me, really, it doesn't matter, Nelson. The
Okay.
president, Bwaka don't owe President We are a call. It's not mandatory.
You think so?
Well,
Cindy.
it's not mandatory. But hold on, Nelson. We make these things very big. We make these things so big. They do not drive any national agenda. Or call to President We are, doesn't really, affect any development in the country.
Thank you.
Not calling President We are won't stop any development in the country. President We are not calling President Bwaka won't stop anything. I mean, we make these things big deal. Here in the United States, how many times have you heard Donald Trump call Biden or Obama and say, "How you doing? What food you ate today? Happy National Unification Day." These things, only Africa will focus on those things. The president came into power with an agenda to rescue the country. That's what I want to see. I want Bwaka to rescue the country. I don't care what Bwaka call me, call Salif, call anybody. As long as Bwaka is rescuing the country, the arrest agenda is being met. Liberians' life are improved. Our road conditions are better. That's all I care about. But Nelson, it is not the politician that make these things big. It is us that make these things big. But we amplify these things to the extent that we actually position these politicians as mini gods. President Bwaka not calling we are. So we are is at a pedestal. President Bwaka is also being put on a pedestal. Now these are politicians. These people are our servants.
But Cindy, let's look at this from the reconciliatory aspect. If President Weah is telling the country now that a country that should be making progress, a country that should be reconciled after a heated political debate, this country has not seen the two major political actors have a single communication over the period of 1 year and moving forward. What does it say about reconciliation? Who should throw the first stone in the first place when it comes to reconciliation here?
The only reconciliation that is owed to the Liberian people was what happened after the war, was the Civil War. The Civil War destroyed all of us. Immediately after the Civil War, we should have had a national reconciliation program. That's the only reconciliation, in my opinion, that is owed to the Liberian people. What happened during the campaign is political exercise. Political exercise. People go to campaign and bitterly present their platform to the Liberian people. When one side wins, the side that wins get to work. You don't owe the other side that you defeat reconciliation. You defeated the other side because your platform aligned with the Liberian people. So now get to work. Again, if President Bwaka called President Weah, that's just something he wanted to do. It shouldn't be a big deal. If President Weah don't pick up the call, or if he makes a call and they exchange a text message, it shouldn't even come to national discussion. Why are we wasting our time on social media talking about who calls who texts who? President Weah was given 6-year mandate to serve the Liberian people. He served the Liberian people within a 6-year mandate. He wanted another 6-year mandate. The Liberian people said, no, we don't want you this time. Go and sit down. President Bwaka now is given a 6-year mandate. President Bwaka, go and serve. Go and serve. I am not against leaders collaborating. I am not against leaders reaching out to one another. I am not against political figures in the country coming together. I'm not against that. But for us to make this a big deal, that's what I'm against.
Now,
We saw. Let me say this. We saw
Mm.
John Mahama the last time. I think
Okay.
yeah. Of Ghana drove to the former president house. Okay, good thing.
Akufo-Addo, yeah.
Yeah, he drove to Nana Akufo-Addo house. But if he had, I mean, if he didn't do that, what big deal is that?
Now,
What I want to see.
I want us to go back a little, and well, Josh, we're coming to you next, but I want us to go back a little. We saw that immediately following the transition, there were issues about former President George we are feeling disrespected, and this is where I want us to go back to. With respect to the use of the VIP lodge, and you know the rest of the story, the back and forth. At a point, former President George Weah said you will not use that lodge again. If he ever decided to go to to use the airport, he will use the one that every other person is using. Now, he on Unification Day, following the message from the president, is saying that you should try to respect past and present leaders. If you're talking about reconciliation, this is where we should start the process from. It should not be about you sending me a message on National Unification Day, but we should go all the way back. We should respect the rule of law. Now he's going back to the situation that happened with the legislature, the lower house. We should respect the rule of law. We should respect the ruling, the court's ruling. We should respect the institutions that have been set aside to make our democracy work. What is he saying here? What does it say about unification, the reconciliation, everything we're talking about here, Sandy?
Nelson, everything about Liberia is politics. In Liberia, we always point out negative things, but we never give solution.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to see now from Alexander Cummings, from Benelli Ure, and the like, from President George Weah, from Madame Saliv, are ideas that would move Liberia to the next level. You being defeated does not mean you cannot come up with ideas. You cannot support the current administration to see your country do better. If you want to be active in a scene, give good ideas. Reach out to people. Ask them to come to Liberia to help. I am not seeing that from any of them. Except the last time where I saw Madame Saliv collaborating with this current administration, bidding for the Liberia, trying to win that UN thing. That's the only time. But Nelson, every time you see our leaders, past leaders, political leaders come out in the public, it's always to criticize the current administration, but never to come out with ideas that will transform the lives of our people. This Liberia building team we're talking about should be a teamwork. It should be a teamwork. Bouakai was elected, but Bouakai alone cannot do it. And so people will come here and say, oh, during John Weah time, Bouakai didn't do the same, and it's the work of the opposition to criticize. It is not the work of the opposition to bring down the nation. It should be the work of the opposition, the imposition, and every Liberian to advocate for the betterment of our country.
Thank you.
And you do not need President Bouakai to come to your house to do that, to give you a phone call to do that. It is my responsibility. It is Nelson's responsibility. It is Amy's responsibility. It is all of us' responsibility to advocate for the betterment of our country. So I am tired with this text message. They who call who not call who. It won't help Liberia in any way. Our people still in Soniwe are still dying from hunger today. The road to Grand Gilead are not built today. Grand Cape Mount is still isolated from Liberia, even though it's one of the most beautiful places in that country. We need a national development agenda and not who call who or who tests who. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Josh, you want to come in on this one?
Strong.
You hear me?
Yeah, Nelson, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I in the noise?
No, you're good. You're good. You have-
Okay, good. So look, what I want to say is that we don't have, or to my knowledge, we don't have a unification day in America where the nation is urged to unify themselves or to reconcile themselves. Our forefathers thought it wise that our day be set aside because of the condition of our people to reconcile with each other. because everyday friction between relationship, between partners, between communities, between individuals is far-reaching because of our tradition. So our people set day aside where we will come together as a people and iron out our differences. However, having your day set aside for that does not presuppose that we should only wait for that day, and because it's a symbolic day, to go and reconcile with the people that will feel that are aggrieved or that we hurt or that hurt us. So going ahead, I don't know why my learned brother here would think that our country without reconciliation can develop and be prosperous. I don't know. Today, we talk about America because America only fought one civil war, and at that time, even our forefathers were not born. They have remained peaceful. That's why that country continued to progress. Notwithstanding, no, for us, no. We have fought about 5 wars. Then think about it. Why do you think we have fought 5 wars in succession? When the people came from America to capture the land from the native people, they fought them. They killed them. The people were using cutlasses, they were using guns. And they have to live with the people. That's why reconciliation comes about. And then we went to these wars that, civil wars that, to kill our people and kill us and displace us. Most of us wouldn't have been in other people's country, but because of the war that fought in our country, made us to flee. And that's why we are all over the world. And then you think that reconciliation is not okay. The other day, one skyscraper, we break it down the next day from fighting. Then that means the country is developing. No, that's not the point. And I'm very disappointed, and I'm very serious about this. I'm disappointed that my brother thinks that building skyscraper and building roads is something that will help our nation. No, we have to be reconciled before development can follow. Because when we are reconciled, that's when we can hold the rope and hold it to make sure that the cement bucket that carrying the cement up there to build that building can go up. Without reconciliation, that is not possible. So Nelson, I just want to say that, and then I'll move into exactly what I want to say about this. The problem with us Liberians is that we are very superficial, and that's why President we are mentioning that email, that message, that press statement. He said should not be superficial. We let the window dress things, and when things happen, put it on the carpet. Don't say, oh, you forget it. Yeah, let be so. You know what I mean? And then, they break, the same thing will come up, and then we'll put it back on the carpet again. We'll window dressings, and then we'll find out that when it comes to when something hit the fan and starts scattering all in the room, then we all flee. Then we'll say, oh, we'll add a monkey. We'll say, tomorrow, the way it's raining tomorrow, building house. Everybody say, yeah, my man, yeah. We shall be also. But as soon as they break, the rain finish again, we go for our business. So now, the thing is that President Weah was very, very right in our message that this should not be superficial. This should not be that one day then you call, you say, yeah, let be peaceful. And then you do things that would not, signify any peace in the country, Nelson. Nelson, we expect when an official who is not even a proper minister goes on the air and insult a former leader, President Baka should take action. President Baka should say something, but he remains mute. And then on unification day, he say, let's be peaceful. But your boys are insulting me on the radio, on the air, and you say, let's remain peaceful. Nelson, this is superficial and it doesn't make any sense, Nelson. And people will say, oh, because...
Is it just upon President Boakai to ensure that there's national unity in the country? Josh,
Nelson?
It is a responsibility of everyone.
Nelson, he bears the brunt of that that responsibility, Nelson. That's why when you are a leader, anything that happens in the country carries your name, Nelson. If something good happens, it will take your name. If something bad happens, it will take your name.
Let me interrupt you a bit. Let's come to traditional side. Traditionally, in our African setting, the old man will not go to the young boy. The young boy is supposed to go to the old man and say, Papi, I your son. The thing that happened, then forget it. That bygone be bygone. But myself too, that thing on my mind, your children disrespecting me. The people in your government are doing this and XYZ. Let's find a solution around it for the sake of our country.
Nelson, thank you.
you think this issue could be handled that way as well? Aside from just
Nelson.
looking at the black eye to take the lead
Nelson.
when it comes to the whole unification thing?
Nelson, thank you. You know, one of the things, that's why the same superficial thing is coming up again. You cannot have your cake and eat it. In our tradition, when your son is leading, you serve as an advisor to your son. You come and say, my son, I know the position you want, the position you get, I want it.
It's not leading anymore.
But let's do this. When President Weah was the president, when last was President Boakai come up and say, this is what I'm trying to, I want to help the government to do this. The only thing you were looking for is a medical bill to pay.
Come on.
And we accept that. And President Weah did that honorably. But the thing is that, Nelson, as the father or the elder of the place, just yesterday, I was at a meeting here in Australia for the Liberian community. And we're asked, to be leaders. And I said, look, I don't want to be leader. I'm already a leader in the CDC. I don't want to be the leader in the community. You know what I mean? The elder there was sitting down and he said, guys, I don't want leadership, but I want you guys to take up the leadership.
George,
So Nelson, the other in the midst will always serve that particular role. When it's not working, they will go and make peace. When it's not doing this, they will go there to make sure that their people are together. But other who will sit and say, only people should come to him to beg him. But when President Weah was President Weah walked to your house, went to you and spoke to you, carried gift for you, invited you to a mansion, they all that. Your time. Your children insulting him. You're not even talking. Then you say, I'm going to reconcile. Nelson, you guys can reconcile. But President Weah will not call President Boakai to reconcile unless he can do the needful, which is to respect the rule of law, to make sure that he respects past and present leaders, and make sure that he does what the Liberian people want. That all. President Weah does not want call from him. Let him just do, let Cindy said, let him just go ahead and develop the country and what the Liberian people want, not what we want. So let him just do it. President Weah does not want anything from him. Thank you.
No, but George, just a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
And we're coming to you next, Mobile. But just a quick one. The president, an elder, reaches out to the younger, man. Let me put it out, the younger president.
Yeah.
Then, while he's talking about unification, the ex-president is talking about go face the system, go respect the rule of law, go and make sure that all the things work, go respect president and former political leader. Do you really think President George Weah is intentional about unification, about reconciliation?
Yes.
Do you think he's really intentional about it? Did you see it?
Yes, why?
Read up and all of that?
Yes, why? Nelson, look, and we are different. If I were President Weah and you call me on a new number and then text me back, I will not text you back. So what will you do to President Weah? Nothing.
No way.
But because he's out for, because he wants peace in the country. He's a symbol of unity. He's a symbol of peace. So he said, look, even though they may disrespect me by calling me on no number, what I would do, say he sent a text, I'll reply him. That is a symbol of being peaceful. I'll reply him and say, look, and guess what? Everything he wrote in this letter, if you can read with understanding that letter, it's not everything that he told the president. He didn't tell President Boakai that we go and respect the rule of law. No. He said, I wish him Happy Unification Day.
No, he's urging the president to go and respect the rule of law.
That one is part of the statement. You want to tell me say all that thing that what they wrote in one text message. No, he just told
how does unification relate to go respect the rule of law? Somebody's telling you Happy Unification Day, but he's telling
you cannot be unified. You cannot be unified, Nelson.
Nelson, I hope you give us time to that too, because I know why you keep
You
going
cannot be
over
unified, Nelson. You cannot be unified and be disrespectful to the rule of law.
Thank you.
How does unity come about without respect for the rule of law? It would never happen. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mobile.
My turn.
Cindy, you want to take a few seconds?
Why he running away? He needs to be here.
No, Cindy, you are muted.
When you finish talking about that, then you go behind the scene.
I said for my few seconds.
Guys, please respect the gentleman. He made his point. You're gonna have your time to make your point, please.
3 point quick. If somebody if somebody do something for me,
30 seconds for 3
yeah,
points.
no, very quick, very quick. If somebody is doing something for me and
Mhm.
continue to repeat it and say I did this for Sandy, there's nothing honorable about
Nothing
that.
honorable
Not
about
honorable.
that. Thank you.
You cannot say we help President Wakai, when he need medical help,
I'm music for
and we announcing it. Then you say that's an honorable gesture. It's not honorable. Second thing, Nelson, and I wish George would list. You're talking about the U.S. fought one civil war, Liberia we fought 5 wars. I agree, George. But the reconciliation you're looking for is not because of the war. You're looking for political reconciliation. That means every time we go to election, after the election, we'll reconcile the country. When we have senatorial by-election, they reconcile that county. When we have presidential election, they reconcile the country. Every time. Now, there are political debates and political tensions in every country that go through democratic practices. There are political here in the U.S. We saw this last election. In other countries,
Listen, they already spoke.
Thank you.
Give me 30 seconds. So why are you interrupting?
Well, we there too. Nothing yet. Make us say it.
Every election we have to reconcile. Elections are games that fill with tension. After the election, we move on. We focus on development.
Okay, thank you, Sandy. So I think, Sandy, what you're saying is that we don't really need that kind of reconciliation that everyone is pushing for. We don't need it. We should just move on. But Moba, you want to come in quickly on this one?
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, first of all,
the show,
the phone call, right? The phone call, the president made to President JMB made to the former president George Manawia. Let agree that it was probably a private call, a private number came, right? Not like it's not anybody or everybody answer private calls. We agree, that's granted. But not in which the president tested you to wishing you all the stuff, and end of the day, you just come out, you're talking about rule of law, you're talking about this, you're talking about that, but doing your redeem, you do 1 million times.
But Moba, don't
what you're talking about.
For former president to have mentioned the need for the current
Nelson, first of all, the country is not in no chaos. The country is not like, look, Nelson, if you make a survey today, during George Manawia regime, the country was more divided than now. Go do your statistic. The country was divided to the extent that sedition was even scared to say to other political leader to eat. Because people think he said they'll gain information and they'll bring it on Facebook. So all these things were happening. Then you want to talk about unification? Doing CDC, before CDC could come to power, Carrasco used to sit where they don't eat. They used to sit to all the lawmakers. They eat paper color. They do all things, ministers. But as soon as CDC took power, everything changed. So now I was speaking to your friends, say, my man, don't let it post me. Moba Malu, doing the chairmanship. Next thing we're talking about division. We're talking about division. Then you want to compare both government. Georgia government, the country was more divided than any other regime in Liberia history. That go to insult. You're talking about why the president never condemned some of the things the minister talking against George Weah. Doing George Weah regime. You want to go there? They take the street. When Eddie was in power, they took the street. They insulted Madam Eddie Johnson Sally. They on a daily basis. Even your high official, former official you get, right? They can go on social media and insult the president presently. Then talk about unification. What we need to be talking is how we will develop our country. The country is not at war. Nobody come here and tell you the country at war. So is just a single human being. He must get a lot of people behind him who support him, but they are not in their interest. They are there for themselves. They are not there to unite country. They are there to run because everything is.
Moba, just a quick one, Moba. Just a quick one. Do we need the unification that President Bouakai is calling for? Do we need it?
Nursing.
Is
will
there a
do
need
nothing.
for reconciliation?
In
at this
my own understanding, the country is not divided. Because I will tell you why. It's when you say, maybe when it comes to politics, people say that they move on. I will tell you, say, yeah, the country is not divided. What bring all the divisions and other things in individual? It's because the disciples are beyond George Weah. They just sit and make everything other issues. People just sit and say things that don't even have fact about. Then we talk about reconsideration. Then you talk about say, oh, why Joria, and then seditions. They say Joria will not call back. Your elderly text you. Your elderly person texts you. He call you. Answer the call. Which of course you say our private number. We agree. And then he texted you. He saw his text message. Your duty is to take that phone and call. Then you want to come here and talk about politics. You want everything. You want to talk about the country. The country is so divided. You know what? You know what division is? When George Weah was in power. You know what division is? When ministers were under George Weah could not sit with Unity Partisan and ANC or Partisan to eat, to even talk, and they will get fired. Then you want to come here and talk about unification, my brother? Don't be so deceptive like this. Let us go to the issues. The point here is let us focus how we will open our country. Let us focus on construction that will benefit our people. Not for Georgia to sit behind her and say someone will be worshiping him. You're talking about secret. You're not came out. You'll say a lot of things.
Okay. So it's like
It's a mess.
what about disappeared?
No. Yes, sorry. Yeah. My call coming in. The call coming in. Yeah. So
Just end up quickly. You maybe you want to end up. Okay. So
I'm gonna catch him.
you know, Mama, you
He's
have
the boy working on TV.
you want to send you who's doing this thing from whom, so you're doing all of time. So but Francis, we want to bring Francis and then we're gonna bring you Emmy. Francis, go ahead.
Mother made me laugh just now. I don't know where he is tonight, but anyway, how you doing? Nursing and Sandy and our beautiful looking sister, the lonely sister. Because all the time she show, the other woman can be doing group call. Why you can't come on the show? We can be on the show, should be doing group call.
Francis, can go to the conversation.
My man, I'm not going to the conversation. Leave me alone. Son, we can't be serious throughout. We got to throw some fun. Don't do that. I got Jesse in tonight. I don't know. But there's the thing, right?
What is there a mob you have of a rare cup or whatever? We need to audit that, but go ahead.
No, this is just the arm of the chair. Actually, let me put it down. So there's the thing, right? Nelson, the political beef between seditions and UP people, and not today started. And either way we say it, some people will have some story, around our own conversation, but it is okay. But until the kingdom come, the CDC and Unity Party political confusion is not going to end until the two people are no more part of our politics. Because Ellie started it, and now Joe Bouakai, Ellie is gone. They're not forcing with Ellie anymore. They're forcing with Joe Bouakai, and Joe Bouakai people forcing with Joe Weah people because they say they want to come back. But all in all, when it comes to unification of our country, unities, peace building and all of that, in my opinion, the greater responsibility is on the shoulder of the current president. Let hold it constant. I would think from the observation, political observation, I think Madam Seri was more stronger politically as compared to Joe Bouakai. Because we saw people, she happened to be a grandma or great grandma. that people literally insulted that woman day in and day out. They use the number today. Why Marasani Day? She gave me job. If you can remember nothing, the former political officer for CDC, Jay Milton, Milton TJ, every morning Milton TJ will go to Marasani. All these people, Akara Gray and the rest of the people, Jerry Joe Sherry, they were so recipe, all these people. But Madam Sadi was much more stronger in terms of leadership to go around and to even bring it to a point where Milton Teje got appointed as senator of, I think, Sando, one of them. And when he went to that confirmation, the people asking, huh?
You mean appointed as senator?
Appointed as senator?
He was appointed as superintendent, not senator.
No.
Excuse me, I take it back. Superintendent for one of the county, either Sando or.
For instance,
I just want to make a point. Nothing. Let me make my point.
I know your laughter is not with you, but
no, I'm not looking for laughter. I'm not mobile. I'm not looking for laughter.
Okay,
he was appointed as superintendent. When he went to that confirmation,
it's not with you. Your constitutional copy is not with you.
No, I'm not counting. I'm not looking at constitutional nursing. I get my copy here, but this is not constitutional matter. Milton just said, when the people asked him, why you been bashing the president like that? He said, I wanted to be closer to the power. He was
no. Francis. In this case, President George Weah, former President George Weah, doesn't want to get closer.
I understand, but there's a reason for that, Nelson. There's a reason for that.
What do you think is the reason for that?
The reason here is these people went there with a mindset of 12 years. They didn't get 12 years. Who took it from them? A part of that group that took it from them. Joe Walker got it, right? So now, that is what it is. I would suggest that Ome Walker do better if he really want to carry on the unification. Let him be ahead of the game. Now that he's president.
How do you expect the current president to be ahead of the game? How do you expect that?
I want him to take the lead, like what Omar Ellen did.
How does he?
That is what the people say. The leaders need to be ahead of the game, especially the current president. If he's not able to do that, there's another area we can hold this thing tight. All of the promises, let the current president, the current government, goes to economic realities of the country. Create the opportunity for private sector jobs. One majority of Liberians are employed. Their political conversation will reduce. We will reconcile on our own. We will do it when we get a job to do. Because once I get something to put it on the table for me and my family, I think we're good to go.
In a case where let's say current President Boakai sends a message, a unification day message to former President Weah, and then former President Weah is telling him, go and fix the rule of law. I urge you to respect past and current leaders of the country and make sure that our systems are in place. Do you think that was necessary?
My brother, in my opinion, unification is not just one day or on unification day. It should be a continual and consistent process. It's not an event. This country called Liberia been in trouble a lot. Every time we go to a political game, and now people are forgetting and they are leaving key economic politics or policy outside this thing. The reason why the politics is serious every single moment is because majority of Liberians do not have a job.
Thank you.
According to Joseph Boakai, Labor Minister, 96% of Liberians don't have jobs. Let government focus on that economic empowerment and see this thing will take care. It's a majority of the people, they only play the game for $1 or $2 to survive. It's through politics. So what you wanted to do?
Yeah, thank you. Let me hold you there. Amy, you want to come in quickly? Let's hear you.
Thank you, Nelson. So I'm sitting here and kind of confused of where our country has reached. everything in the country now is about politics. Even the so-called Unification Day has turned into politics, right? I didn't know that from what my other brother just said that I didn't know you had to be pampering and pacifying your political opponent because you beat them in an election in order for your country to be peaceful. They are mad because they went there for 12 years and you took it from them. So the country should burn. You who took that mantle, who the Liberian Post trusted now, they gave you the mantle. Oh, you're in trouble. You have to be coming to my house every day. You have to call me every day and do this every day. Like, I don't get it. George talking about America has peace since their war. You don't want to know why? Because they are responsible and civilized society. They haven't been thinking about themselves. They have put their country first. Nobody get beat in an election and stand there every day and say, why the next person did not call me? Why they didn't do that? Why they didn't do that? It's about America. America first. Liberians, all since the whole CDC and something thing, we don't know what happened before the war. They have become so selfish, the politicians. So he gave a definition about the whole Unification Day. When people are grieving and all of that, people have to come together. How many times George Weah has ever gone, have a program in the open and bring Liberians together? Some of the things that they said he did to them over his 6-year period, to bring them together, to apologize, to do those things. It's all about Weah. Oh, how dare they didn't let me use the presidential suite because I was president the last time. Oh, how dare they didn't let King George Weah. They didn't store his number. And they had to be calling on. It's just all about me, myself, and I. With all these sedition and these politicians. And it's so sickening. And then the same people that come on the show and open their mouths, they're talking for the Liberians. And I keep telling you, Liberian people, they are not here for you. They're here for the political leaders and our political parties. That's what they are here for. If a person would sit here and talk about he didn't call President Weah over the months, over this, only that one time and this and that. What happened to President Weah phone? Does it only receive? It doesn't make calls? I think it's unification is a two-way thing, right? Since y'all want to make it look like President Weah and President Bouaga poking at each other through now. To reconcile, you can't just one person can be the one reconciling. It gotta be two persons doing that. So if President Bouaga did not call, what happened to President Weah's phone? Why couldn't he call? And like Nelson mentioned, this is an elderly man. Why? Because of politics, tradition should vanish altogether. You want this old man to leave the mantle that the Liberian people gave him, that you're running around all day, that he's not doing anything. To be putting on his shoe, to be going to President Weah every day because President Weah been a president before. What is this? What? This is the president that is coming here telling you every day that he should come back next 2029 to come make our country all about him. Because President Weah, Liberian people trusted him for 6 years that he didn't do what they wanted him to do. So the country should be all about President Weah now. We shouldn't do anything. On the Unification Day, President Weah talking about politics. He named everything that's supposed to be done as if he knew what's supposed to be done and he never did it. This is secondly nothing, and this is why people say we're making it a big deal. This man posted this thing on Facebook. Why can't they stay on Facebook? Why are we here talking about it? This is not doing anything for the Liberian people. But just come here. Somebody said, President, we are here for something. George said that this man that beat you, flog you in the election, he should be the one be here for. Make that make sense to me. How can I beat you in the election and I be the one hitting on you? It doesn't add up. Okay, standing there, oh, President Weah, shouldn't call him. If I were President Weah, I would not do that one yet. And I just, what are you doing? This is not about President Weah. Nobody cares about what happened to President Weah. Is not going to bed hungry every night. President Weah got more than 30, 40, 50, 60 people watching him while he lay down in his ANC. Some sleeping, snoring near his wife or his tent, whatever it is. While the Liberian people out there, some of them can't find food to eat. They are some of them in the heat. Some of them don't have jobs. Some of them out there struggling for like children every day to go home, begging people for one cup of rice or stealing it. President Weah is not doing that. This country is not about President Weah alone. President Weah is a Liberian, granted. But he needs to care for the innocent people, the people that gave him that mandate, that put him on that pedestal, that he never did anything for them. The only thing President Weah did for the Liberian people when he was a football player was the name Liberia. Show me one academy in Liberia that is helping those talented Liberian boys that are playing in content meets every day. He never did it when he was playing football. Even when they gave him the country, he never did it. It was all about President Weah. He gone now. Every time we call you President Weah, he won't come out 2029. Why can't you do something for the people to see that you are remorseful for what you did not do? All the wrong that you did to the country. Every time we come here with hello screening, and we gotta be here about, they didn't let he use executive mansion, they didn't let he use RIA. What is that? We are sick and tired of hearing this. They want him. Why President said he's not running around? Don't be disrespecting her.
I want us to.
I get so frustrated. I love President Weah, but I don't like these people around and making him feel like he's so almighty.
There is another aspect of this. The whole issue here. The former president.
President Boaga told to call you, Amy. Not to call Jovia.
The former president have said that he's a man of peace. He's a reconciler. He's a peace ambassador. He's a peace icon. But he wants the president. If the president is very intentional about reconciliation, the president should start to respect the rule of law. That the president should start to make sure that past political leaders or officials or presidents of the country are respected. That our democratic institutions and processes are respected. Don't you think that is something worth talking about, especially on a unification day, politics aside? Don't you think that is something worth talking about?
What I'm talking here is not politics. Unification Day is supposed to be about unifying, right? Like Cindy said, that's something. Have we ever done that after the war? But I don't think President Sardi ever called Weah and said that Boaga disrespecting me. Please go talk for me. President Weah is talking for himself because he's not being pampered. Because his surroundings, they're making him to feel like he's the king, almighty, that everybody should obey him. Look at what George just said. President Weah went and do that one year and we're paying your hospital bill. They come here, President Weah disrespected this man, this man. In our society, we respect older people. It doesn't matter who you are as a young person, even the other person wrong you said. We humble ourselves. They're making Weah to feel like this man is supposed to be crying to him, even when he was giving him his benefits, which he was not receiving every month correctly. They make it look that President Weah playing football, his personal money, he taking it and giving it to this man. He going standing. I get in there one year, and mother not do that. I get in there, he can't talk about homo there and doing this for him. Who are you trying to fool? Like we were not listening or we were not watching over his 6-year period.
I'm finishing my story.
Okay, I'm not done. Let me land. Nelson, you get by the time. Let me finish. No. Let me finish. You're not coming out like that.
Quickly, just take 20 seconds quickly.
No, 30 seconds. I'll take it. So yeah. So like I'm saying, nobody in the word unification that I think it's about just a day to come together and just have that fun day. And it doesn't necessarily mean that something is going on, friction or whatever and stuff. I think it was a special day. Things were happening in the past and they set that day aside. That's a special day. And now, and now it's just something, it's just for formality and all that stuff happens. But for people to be using it on that day, for you to something making it out of politics and bringing politics in there, like they didn't do that for you, they didn't do that for you. The president called you, pick up a phone and call you. He probably realized you didn't know this number, so he texted you. That is very disrespectful for you to come and be bringing your conversation in the open and come here and then people hailing you, something that you and this man call you, texting you. Oh, Mr. President, I didn't know it was you. That's why I did not answer the phone. That would have been something. How are you? But why are you calling me on or something number? If you have problem with that, and this man will explain to you why this happened. But you come out here to pull out here to make yourself look like a peaceful man that they always. It's not about peace. If he was about peace, he would not be fighting and gaslighting these things to make it feel like somebody killing him, and he want his screens to be coming around and talking. He now President we will not call him. And so what? President Bouaga will not die. President we does not call that President we President Bouaga focus on dealing with the country and doing what the president the minute for. He did not get him 6 minutes to go serve President we or to go kiss on his feet. Thank you. Yeah, you are muted.
Nelson, can you give me
no, my man, I'm
20 seconds, please? My man, you are talking. Nobody to go off. Nobody.
Guys, let's take this thing easy.
Yeah, Nelson, please, man. I'm not cutting off. I beg to leave. I can't make it to any show tonight. You're thinking plenty. Bye-bye.
You know, this Francis guy is interesting. But George coming, then Mobile can go, then Cindy, take your 30 seconds and we transition.
Nelson, something makes me feel really angry. That is being superficial. And it's like making fun out of people. Let me tell you what happened, of which I am pissed off.
Okay.
President, on Unification Day, there was a speech written for President Bouaga. He was going to tell the nation to reconcile. But I think he knew that when he gave that speech, people were going to say, have you reconciled with your political opponents? So before he could go on the podium that day, he decided to give a superficial call. Just to record it that, yeah, I have spoken to these people. So that people can say,
Wait, Josh. You are saying
all about we are again.
You were there, you were in President Bouaga's office, and the speech was rating. And as of the time he was about to present the message to the people, he decided to pick the phone and call former President George Weah. You think that's what happened? Or are you just crafting your own narrative of the whole situation here?
Nelson, one of the best qualities that people have, that people should have, is deductive reasoning. You put 1, 2 together. You put it, you connect the dots. What happened?
Can't stick together well. But anyway,
but Nelson, logically, that's exactly what happened. If you really analyze the whole situation, before you will go and give the speech in which he mentioned these people, because he knew that there was a possibility that people were going to say, oh, you say more reconciled, but you haven't reconciled with your opponents. Since you got inaugurated and you fainted, you have not even spoken to the people yet. So why are you telling us now to reconcile? That was the question they were asking. So now he went ahead and said, okay, I will call the people. So it was superficial. That one person we have said, he didn't care for you to call him. Don't do it superficially. Just do the right thing. I don't know why my sister is animated. Because according we are named more than 5,000 times in one analysis. The thing is that President Weah does not want to be in your fries. Leaving out it, just do the right thing. That's all he's asking of you. He said, you don't have to call him
and start making noise in the country.
Nelson, please mute her. Please mute her. She's not muted. Nelson, please mute her. She's not muted. I just heard her voice.
Thank you.
I just heard her voice. Please mute her. Yeah. The thing is, so Nelson, let me just conclude. The thing is that President Weah is saying, look, you don't need to call me. Just do the right thing. That's all. That's all President Weah is asking. So anybody who here said, President Weah want to be, he said, go. If President Weah want to say, no, you're supposed to invite me to the program today where you're going to have before I was going to accept your call. This and that. He said he want to make himself the centerpiece. But he said, no. He said, just do the right thing by the country. Respect the rule of law. That's all. And I'm fine. Because this man is a unifier.
Yeah,
thank you, Nelson.
Nelson, I was on the outside because my time. I'm running out of time. But let me just make my 1 or 2. Look, we all know George Weah are the people demagogue. They always protect him whether he's wrong or he's right. But they're forgetting to know that we have a president. George Weah is not a president. Up to the time, people former minister from CDC can still call George Weah president and refer to the sitting president as Joseph Boakai to tell you how their mindsets are already made up. So there's nothing you can tell them, they will listen. But to the issue, Boakai, our president, Joseph Yima Boakai, took upon himself. He make a call and he texts. You respond, you text. And I seen people carrying all around say, well, he was the same seditions, were the same people that took that same text and start posting it around, start sharing it. But they talking about that. They the one were running with it. They the one now feeding that the president wants something from them. Then they're talking about unification, where they call Georgia respond to the call. He might even call back. He might even answer the call to tell you how the people mind are made up. Our country is very small. We all know when anything happens in our country, everybody knows. George Weah, you're talking about secret. George Weah, how many we all George every day you get music to sing it out. George Weah or Regina Gay, Joseph Boakai money to go to the hospital. To tell you how petty seditions and a demagogue are.
No,
you
no,
just sit.
No.
But Nelson, that's a petty that. We all know that. You can't do that.
George Weah,
man, Nelson, I would do a guest stuff for you and come and tell people say I do this for so president. That's not. That sounds very ridiculous, and that's being petty. Let me real, Nelson. I would not come here and do something for somebody and come and start saying it and telling everybody. Nobody asking. Come on, interview, start saying it. How that old man was. Why would you say that? He can born you no matter what. He's a father. He's an elderly man. We respect our elders. So when you come and talk about politics, talk about reconciliation, and you're writing some kind of mumu letter and your followers passing around with it.
Moba, thank you.
No, you can't call me all that. Don't do that. Just say he called Joseph Boakai. Not calling all.
No. But
he said
the same path. Look, Moba.
Give me 30 seconds. You can't call me all that. Give me 30 seconds.
I'll give you 30 seconds. But you have to.
My chance almost finished. Let me conclude.
Respect. You have to address the former president.
That's right.
I will respect him, former president George Manuel Weah. But there's my point, Nelson. They take George Weah to be a demagogue. And he's just a human. Look, they're the one making George Weah people who used to admire him, people who used to like him. Right? They don't like him no more. Based on how the people pimpos George Weah. Based on how they say things that everything George Weah does or George Weah did in the past, it was 100%. It was 100. Nothing about 99.9. It was 100. Everything was 100. Perfect. And today, yeah, that's how I see it. But everything this president doing now, Joseph Yima Boakai, is wrong. It's wrong. We all want to reconcile the country. But don't forget about it too much. They got to call president, they got to call other president. So every after election, my brother said alluded to, every after every election, we will go again and call people to say, George, we did the country was more divided than now. It was divided than now. George, Nelson, you know that. Don't come back out there. You know that. You're not saying, but you know, the country was more divided.
Analysis, no.
Representatives, senators, cabinet ministers, right? They know to take pressure of common people with opposition. They want to carry news. You think we don't know? Some of them they were threatening behind the scene. Then you want to talk about unification? Just stop that joke.
Thank you, Moba. Cindy, you want to just get us to transition at this point?
Nelson,
you get my 30 seconds too.
Guys, no, we have to really transition. We really.
Nelson, you get everybody 30 seconds and you reach the music. You really have to transition.
Yeah, because you came late.
What do you mean? I was on this show when it started. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Don't make me unify you too.
Cindy, can you take your 30 seconds?
In leadership, we try to utilize every opportunity to the best. That's what we do in leadership. I think President Weah missed an opportunity. Even if President Weah believed that the call was belated or that the attempt from the president to reach out to him is superficial. President Weah could have utilized this opportunity to actually reach out to President Boakai to have some common ground. That would have been a better option. He should have publicly embraced President Boakai's outreach, and he could have positioned himself as the responsible and mature opposition figure with no, backsliding or political tone. He could have positioned himself as the more mature person in the room. He could have put aside his personal grievances for the greater good of the country. Nelson, that would have earned President Weah the level of respect. It will have earned him the respect both domestically and internationally. People will have seen him as this person who is the peacemaker. Nelson, he could have also used this as an opportunity to reclaim the narrative that is ongoing. Instead of seeing this as a political gimmick, President Weah could have used this movement to call for a structured national dialogue. If you believe that there is exclusion in the current leadership, oppositions are excluded, President Weah is not being respected, President Weah is not being allowed to use a certain part of the airport. He's not, the opposition is not being respected, the rule of law is not being respected. This will have been a wonderful opportunity to call for structured national dialogue. Could use this opportunity to urge for reforms in areas where President Weah feel the opposition voices are excluded. He could have used this opportunity to challenge President Boakai constructively from a unified stand. This, for me, was a missed opportunity. I would have taken the call the president back and say, "Oh, Mr. President, I missed your call. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for reaching out. Can we have a time to meet? I would like to reach out. I would like for us to meet." You go one-on-one in that one-on-one meeting. That's where you outline your grievances. Mr. President, your team is doing this. Your people are doing this. This is not working for the sake of the country. We need to move the country in this direction. Can you engage with your team to make sure that we are respected? You don't do that in an open letter. Leadership is all about finding opportunities and using this opportunity to the best of your ability, not to miss them.
Wow. Thank you, Sandy. Thanks a lot. I want us to listen to this.
I just wanted to make a
Sorry, guys. Okay.
on plenary authority to someone here, the Minister of Labor, to bring us the work permit and the category.
Nelson is too low. I don't know if it's just me.
Without having to repeat myself.
Wow.
This is critical and important.
Wow.
When it comes, so we know.
So you guys didn't get it at all?
It's too low, brother.
To non-Liberians, jobs that Liberians are qualified for and available to. It's going to the President of the Senate.
Can you hear it better? Is it better?
It's going to 6 months.
Okay, yeah, thinly. It's very low, but okay.
The President of the Senate, we will not pass concession.
Okay, so
the concession will provide 500 jobs, 1,000 jobs, and then we get 300, 500 of the jobs for work permit. We have not provided jobs for our people. the Minister of Labor should be made to appear here to tell us why drivers driving heavy duty machine at some of these construction areas are making $600 when non-Liberians driving and operating the same heavy duty machine, working on the same work time, are taking $6,000 and $3,000.
Yeah, sorry. I think there was an issue with the audio. I don't know if you were able to get some portion there, but that is Senator DeLone in that particular engagement. And the senator is raising concern about the Ministry of Labor giving work permit to non-Liberians. His concern has to do with the work permit that are being given to some foreign nationals coming to the country to serve as drivers. Some of them serving in some capacity, but they make more money. In one instance, he's citing is about a driver at a concession site that makes about 3,000, while a Liberian driver is making 600 or 700. And he thinks that the whole idea of the Ministry of Labor giving work permit to non-Liberians is something that the minister should be summoned about to give reasons, tangible reason to the legislature as to why the Ministry of Labor is selling work permit. Now, but the other side to this thing is that the Ministry of Labor have celebrated this as a big win, as a milestone, that in no time, just the other day, the labor minister was saying that they were able to generate close to 1 million or so in just work permit that were issued. And so Senator DeLone's argument is that the Ministry of Labor should not be a revenue generating entity, but they should rather be there to, ensure that the law works in the interest of the Liberian people, not giving work permit out to non-Liberians. But now the big question is, are Liberians prepared to do the jobs that the non-Liberians, the foreign nationals coming to the country are issued work permit to do? I mean, this call for the Minister of Labor to be summoned. Is this going to help this whole fight against work permit being issued to non-Liberians? I mean, let's start a conversation around this, and then maybe we can go to the phone lines. Maybe you want to come in with this, Cindy, and then we go to George, and then Emmy will take us to the phone lines on this one.
Well, I'm going to be very brief on this one, Nelson. There's nothing wrong with hiring foreigners or bringing foreign expertise to do certain work. But Nelson, the people of Liberia, the Liberian people must be prioritized. Employment prioritization must be accorded to Liberians over foreigners. And I think that's something we have failed to do. We must ensure that when someone brings a job to Liberia or bring a company to Liberia, we must mandate them to hire at least their workforce should comprise of at least 70% Liberian. And our labor ministry must ensure that those organizations, companies are mandated to pay the Liberians very fairly based on their job duties, experiences, and so forth. But I mean, what we have seen is obvious, Nelson. You go everywhere in Liberia, foreigners are taking over. Even the stores. When you go to the various Lebanese stores and Indian stores, most of the high positions are the foreigners, and our people are usually the one they catch, the one picking up, doing the hard work, being mistreated in their own country. Look, somebody need to be on me. Thank you. We must graduate from that. The reason we bring people into countries to bring jobs is to provide jobs for the Liberian people. Not to bring your company, then you bring your own people to fill those jobs on the Liberian people's soil. That's not okay. I know you don't like me to mention my favorite country in Africa, but you won't find that nonsense. You won't find that, excuse my French, in Rwanda, for instance. In Rwanda, Nelson, the National Labor Mobility Policy, they have a national labor mobility policy in Rwanda. And I tell you, not to bore you with this, anyone that's been to that country, ask them. You can, in the first place, almost all the stores are owned by the people, by the Rwandese. I know a couple Liberians that have stores there, restaurants. Both the two people I know, the Liberians that have restaurants, they are married to Rwandese. But guess who working at a restaurant? They're cooking like broad food. There's a town there called Kinsenyi, right at the border to DRC Congo. I went there. I went to eat at the Liberian restaurant. It's Rwandese that serving me Liberian food. I couldn't find a single Liberian. The only Liberian that worked there is the guy, the husband, the Liberian guy. The rest of the cashier, the server, all of them, they are local. Nelson, that's how you do it. And there are plenty of Liberians in that city. A lot of them in that city, but they can't hire them. Or Chinese, there are a couple of Chinese supermarkets in the country, or in Rwanda. But when you go in a store, almost all the workers there are the local people. Nelson, our people must be given jobs. We cry on this show and say, bring the private job, bring the private job. When the private job come again, then the private job bring their own people. There are our people there struggling, reliance on political jobs, following politicians. So this is my message to the politicians. Fight for the people rights. Fight for your people rights. So that way they are not entirely dependent on you. Estera, I mean, how do you call it? The Meta, whatever company.
Estera Meta.
Estera Meta. I almost call it Estera Meta. Estera Meta, for instance, bring a job. Mandate them to hire Liberians. Or Indian man bring a company, mandate that Indian person to hire Liberians. If you don't want to hire our people, 70% of your workforce should be our people. You are not forced to come to Liberia.
But Cindy, is there anything wrong with the Ministry of Labor generating money through work permit, giving work permit to a good number of non-Liberians? Is there anything wrong with that?
That's the thing. This instant gratification, instant money-making strategies is the same thing we have at the airport. I've been arguing on this show, make Liberia a visa-free country. You make that tiny money right now. You give the Nelson, you give that permit. I pay you $100. Maybe I bring 1,000 people. We give you $100 each. You give her the permit. Compare that money you just made, compare that to us giving the same permit to our Liberians, or allowing Liberians to be hired, and then they are getting paid, and that money staying in Liberia. The money stay in Liberia, being utilized in Liberia. That put more money into the country than the little money you generate from the permit.
20 seconds.
You got to start thinking bigger, on the bigger scope than the instant money generating thing that won't last for a long time.
Thank you.
We need to make the airport visa free. That way we make it attractive. People come, a lot of people come to spend more money compared to that little money you're getting from the visa. Similar ideas. Thank you.
Thank George, you want to come in on this one quickly?
Thank you, Nelson. And look, I will be controversial on this one. And
Tell me
what I'm
which
gonna
one is
say,
not
Which
controversial.
one you not going to?
Nelson, you allow that?
No, go ahead. You are
And you
protected.
and you are smiling. You muted
You,
and
you,
you're
you are
smiling.
you are
That's good.
go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, guys. And look, I am glad you guys think I'm controversial. It's okay because that's my view, and nothing is going to change that. But here's the thing, Nelson. My grandma used to say, if you telling the cat not to eat a fish, tell the fish not to smell as well. And I'm all for Liberianization, right? I want everything to be good for Liberia. However, when we are telling these foreign companies to hire Liberians, let also tell the Liberians to be able to work for the people the way the work is structured, job design. Let them be able. I know that Liberian, when you employ them the first week, they'll come to work. The second week, they say they didn't get car pay. But away from that, Nelson, here's the thing. One of the disadvantages is that if you employ a foreigner to work for you, you pay them almost 3 times the money you're supposed to pay a local person. So if companies are looking at that, knowing that we will pay a Liberian maybe $250 to do the work, and we are paying them $1,800 because he comes from overseas to do the work, then tell me, why are we doing that? Let's try to study that. Why are they doing that, Nelson? The reason they are doing that is because something is not right with the workforce. It could be that people are not committed to their work, or it could be that people are not honest. Honesty is one of the most important things in a job. Now, say I know people where you employ them in your place, and then the things will get messy until you get tired. Or how they call it, or Indian man had a store in Liberia. I'm not going to call his name, but I know him. He employs some Liberian in his store to work. Now, see, no head, no tail until he had to bring a Ghanaian from Ghana to come and work there. So now, say I'm not accusing anyone here, but I'm just trying to open our minds and open it.
Was there still? What was it?
No, we said according to him, what he told me, he said things improved when we brought this guy. But later on, guess what he found out we ended up doing? He said, but then it's good for me to help because I already paid, they got more money. It's good for me to help or Indian. So he went to India and brought somebody from that. So now saying the thing is that I understand Liberians need a job and we must get a job. But I also talk about Liberian people to do the people job. To do the people job, Nelson. Because even me, I got store, I got shop. Okay, I got a business in Liberia, right? But the thing is that when you put people there, Nelson, no, sometimes guess what? They can come in and say it rained today, so we're not going to the shop. So that Nelson, you hear that? It rained today, so we're not going to the shop. Nelson, my shop will be shut for that whole day because it rained. Can you imagine that? Next year, I gotta wear coat here when it's raining because when I go downstairs in my building here, I gotta go in the car park to go and get my car. I gotta wear coat, put it over my head, jump in that car, and I'll be freezing. I'll take that coat and rubber it, tuck it out the back. Then I start driving to go to work. But in Liberia, they say it rains, so they ain't going to the shop. Now, see, I'm not against Liberia, as I say, but we need to be disciplined. We need to go to work. We need to do the job as it is called for, Nelson. But if you can do the job, Nelson, the people have no choice because they are spending money. They are paying money to the government. They're paying taxes every day, paying taxes. And then you say it rains, so you're going to work. So that means the whole assembly line will be caught because of you. You're there. So that means they lose a lot of money. Nelson, the next thing they will do, they will go far and go bring somebody who will be there every day to do that job. So we should also tell our people, let them be able to do the job that they are being employed for. The first week, that are all the job. Let them do it for the first 1 year, second year. Then they continue to be active and go to work. They should not say it rain. I don't get transportation. I pay you. Then you want me to pay you transportation and you don't come to work? Now saying it's ridiculous. And that's why we are having problem in that country because we feel that I won't get a country here. Guess what? I saw a message from my brother Sandy here.
Just 20 seconds.
Yeah, in how they call it, in Grand Gide. The Burkina Bees are taking all our forests. They are the highest producer now of cocoa in Grand Gide. And our people are there before them, before the people came. But people get bigger cocoa farm them then, and the people are the highest export of cocoa down there. And then we still don't get it and want to bash the investor because the investor, even though they pay your tax, but they ain't employing our people and the double work. Can you imagine your whole truck to be packed because somebody say it raining so they ain't come to work? Then my whole truck packed, you know, it ain't going in the field to go collect what it was there for. You know how much I'm paying on insurance for that truck? You're paying for most of the things are not bought outright. They are paying every for installment. Those trucks, I go to Liberia for them to work. They don't pay cash down. So every month they will pay for that truck. They'll be paying for that truck. So then the truck sit down in the garage now because somebody say it rained. They ain't come to work. Nelson, it's ridiculous. People need to change their attitude for work. They need to be even the people that can send the money in at Liberia that we can work here like what to do. When people say 8 hours, we spend our 8 hours there, we can't go anywhere. So they put we ought to be disciplined, to work, to be disciplined in the ethics, work ethics. They have to improve it so that we can have a better Liberia. But if you cannot improve it, you need to put with no choice but to hire other people from outside. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Emmy?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be a bit controversial here too, as well, right? So, well, all these things that my brother just outlined about people, they know all of this, but every day the person is not bringing job. Our people are suffering. They ain't get no job. There's something that they advocating for job. Even the so-called people staying or whatever, they protest. This is one of it. We want job for our people. This is one of them members naming outlining all the problems that they shouldn't be hired. I don't know. I should call it hypocrisy or I don't know what it is, but we will research that later.
Nelson,
let me tell you
please
something.
tell Amy, I did not say that like people should not be hired. Please explain to her what I said. Maybe I don't speak any other dialect. I can only speak Gogo.
I can speak.
Even the Loma said I'm from Rosa, I can speak Loma. I can only speak.
No, you have to call press conference to provide a clarity.
Exactly. Give me clarity on your press conference, not here.
For me to make a point.
Every day, Bwaga need to provide job for our people. Bwaga need to do that. And this is a man who helped this train to arrive, right? He's sitting in the Senate fighting for our people. This is outrageous. We can't have, our people can't be here. We're giving work permits to foreigners. Like Cindy said, nobody is against foreigner coming and working, but Liberians should be prioritized, right? Yes, I agree with George. These problems exist, even with us, right? But we need to, why are you telling these people? I think that's what they call something they call orientation. You have to have engagement with these people. Maybe they don't know these things because they haven't gotten jobs. You know, none of them have ever worked before a day in their lives with people coming in, investors and giving jobs. So they don't know what to do. The thing where it rain, you sort of enjoy the sing, something the rain, you're not supposed to get up. That's what some of them believe. But no, you have to get up and go to work. So that's why orientation matters. That's why engagement, community engagement. Before these people start work, you have to do that. You have to advocate for your people first and make this, I don't know what the labor law says in Liberia, make that happen first, and then you have the engagement, have these town halls meeting, and try to educate them on how the workforce work, right? And then you also tell them about theft. A lot of them steal a lot. Some of them have businesses there as well. And sometimes you can just eject once the whole thing and just get it, pull that money. Let everybody go home. Because they frustrate you to the core. They steal it. They're lying. They this. It happens. George is right. All these things happen. But you have to have a strong law, right? If this happen, you get fired. If this happen, you get arrested and something. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people need work. They need job, right? If you're stealing from somebody while you're working for them, there's no law making them to keep you on that job. You will lose your job, and the next person who wants a job will come in and get it done. If that one, the same thing, you fire that person. When you're doing that over and over, I think they will stop. But there shouldn't be the reason that we can't advocate for company or we can't advocate for the government to prioritize our people and make them to have jobs over foreigners. It make no sense for foreigners to come. It made no sense for investments to come in the country if they are bringing their own people. Then why can't you just stay in your country and do that? What's the point of you coming because we get free land or got free storing all over the place? That if you come and bring your people, you come in. Suppose the point of you coming, this is why people run this. I'll bring investors. I'll do this. I'll do that. Why? Because you will get a job. Not bringing investors for them to bring their own people. Then you just be looking at the place looking fun, and suddenly you get money in your pocket. No.
Thank you.
So why all the points and stuff that George Mills is correct is happening is something that needs to be taken care of because no businessman want to be losing, and they're paying somebody and they're paying taxes and can't see what they're doing. But we should also keep in mind that these people needs to be educated. We can't just and not everybody in the country are like that, by the way. It's certain people that are like that. So we can't punish everybody for those few people. And if those few people after education and orientation, if they can change, when they keep losing their jobs and stuff and they're not getting any way of life and doing anything to support their family, I'm pretty sure they'll come to the realization to stop. And things will be something. But I think the senator I agree with him. And I think the government should work on that. Thank you, Nelson. Nelson. He's frozen.
Nothing.
It's like across the board.
And I make it. Yeah. So look, and thank you, Amy. The thing is, look, I'm a nationalist, right? And let me tell you, if I have my own will, Liberia will be one of the leading economists in the world. Okay, he's back. So Nelson, you're frozen. So I was trying to take the lead here to just say a few words. Yeah. And so the thing is that Nelson, our country, we will make the country better, Nelson. But by making the country better, we'll not be superficial. We say the truth. They will hate us, well, but one day they will understand that the thing that Bob was saying, that's true. God, now some people, because of political reason, they will not want to listen to some of us. They'll just be like, that's sedition. Because they posted sedition, they didn't get sent, they didn't get skilled, they didn't get anything. We're stupid. But one day they will come to the realization that what we've been saying all along was the hard truth. But most of our people don't like the hard truth. But it is what it is. We have to be able to be disciplined. Mm-hmm. Discipline means like what you do, Nelson. I highly appreciate what you do. You wake up every time while people are sleeping. Yeah, you just sitting inside that room there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you do. But your friend can't able to do that thing there. Guess what? They will be missing days. They'll be doing it one. They'll be giving all type of excuses until the boss will get tired. But that's it, Nelson.
Well, guys, I want to say thanks. It's been a great show.
So we're going to the phone lines.
Yeah, unfortunately, we cannot go to the phone lines now because of some
credit finishing.
Technical issues.
It's called technical.
Technical glitch.
Everyone, thanks to you, our audience. Thanks to you, Cindy. Thank you, George.
So we close. I can be at references tonight.
Tomorrow. Until then, have a good night, guys, and bye-bye for now.